A productive day for me would be getting up at 5:50, being to the gym no later than like 6:15, working out, coming home, shower, morning routine, whatever, and getting started with my day by 8:00. Okay. Like I said, I make wigs. So, just working on orders, and just being productive up until that time, having a lunch, because a lot of times, working from home or just being an entrepreneur, like sometimes we do skip lunch, or just like hairstylists in general, like sometimes we do skip lunch. So, making sure that I have a lunch, being done with my day by 6:00. If I have orders, dropping them off to the post office, because the post office by my house closed at 7. Okay. So dropping those orders off, and then coming home, being able to relax, have a good dinner, shower, and just kind of relax. And I think that would be a very productive day. Oh, forgot about posting on social media, because that matters.
Yeah, that matters. How often do you have a productive day?
It's not often.
It's not? Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning. It's your boy, Armand Lindsay, back again with another episode of Big Boss Talk, the podcast. It's like no other episode. When I tell y'all I'm bringing top tier guests to the episodes, to the podcast, that's what I'm doing. I take pride in that, top tier. You'll never see somebody on this screen that's not, top tier. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is worthy to be on the podcast, but my guest is just different. You know what I'm saying? We built different, we breed different, and we just got bosses sitting at the table right now. So listen, I want to definitely welcome Lanisa Brown to the show. Let me read off her credentials, and then I'll get her to say what's up to the podcast. So listen, we got Lanisa Brown, age 28, career job. She's an entrepreneur and wig maker / hairstylist. Former mental health professional. Wow, okay. College degree. She went to South Carolina State University. Okay, another HBCU grad in the building. Undergrad in social work, University of Maryland for her Master's of Social Work. Years in the profession, so social work / mental health, 6 years, wig maker for 5 years, hair, 15 years, entrepreneur for 4 years. She told me that she wore a lot of hats. So listen, she wear a lot of hats, y'all, and she do a lot of different things. She was like, listen, I do so much, so we gonna have to you just gonna have to tell me what you want to talk about. I say, look, we need to talk about it all. But Lanisa, man, say what's up to the podcast.
What's up, y'all? I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, Armand, for just including me. I love what you're doing with the podcast, and I'm really excited about this episode.
Thank you. So listen, it won't be Big Boss Talk if we don't do two truths and a lie. So I'm hoping I can give me some good statements. I'm trying to guess this lie. What you got for me?
Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Okay, 2 truths and a lie. Okay, so this is hard. Okay, let's see. I'm a dog mom.
Okay.
I am in a sorority. Okay. And let's see. I'm in a sorority, and I am the oldest sibling.
Wow. Okay. I feel like you said 2 truths and a lie, and you gave me 2 truths first and the lie last. I don't know if that's how it worked, but you said, okay, so we got number 1, you're a dog mom. Number 2, you're in a sorority. Number 3, you said the oldest sibling? Okay, got you. You say dog mom. Listen, I pride myself on doing research on my guests. Like, I don't think I ever seen. I ain't see on Instagram you with a dog. So I'm like, is that true? Like, being a dog mom, like, and then you active now, so you got, I don't know, like, you got time for a dog. You like to probably travel. Do all types of stuff. So I'm like, I don't know, but as I'm talking, I see the body language you giving off, this energy, like, oh, this fool got me. So listen. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just don't ever go to court. I'm just gonna say
that was a bad lie. lie. That was a bad lie.
See, we know. So we know the lie is being a dog mom. So you're not a
Yeah.
dog mom, are you?
I'm not a dog mom, but I want to be.
You want to be. What type of dog would you get?
I want a small dog. So I guess I need to do my research a little bit more on what type of dog I want. But I think it's called a doodle or something like
doodle?
that.
A golden doodle?
Yes. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. And I have so many pictures of that particular dog in my phone. Yeah. So it's just destined. I'm trying to manifest that type of dog.
You already manifesting. You said, listen, I want to be on a podcast this year. You got 2 features. So now we just got to put the dog out there. But listen,
when it's time.
When it's time. Yeah. I will tell you.
You said something that was very factual. Do you have time for a dog?
Listen, I've been there, done that. Like I love dogs, and I feel like my downfall is that I can be very sometimes like I want to be on the go, and I gotta remember it's like having a kid, so it's like you can't just go. You gotta make sure the food there, you gotta clean it. It's just so much that go with it, and I'm learning that just about myself because I'm the type of person like if I want something, I'm gonna go get it without thinking of the consequences or the responsibilities that come with it.
Right.
So that's just something I'm working on myself. But hopefully you can get that golden doodle. Make sure it's a miniature. Unless you want that thing to be big, because they can
because I'm only 4'11", so I don't need anything too big.
4'11", got it. Okay, and then you're in a sorority. What sorority?
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Period.
Okay.
The first and the finest.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen, I don't want no beef. None of that.
I
don't want no smoke. I'm telling you. Okay, bet. That's what's up.
I'm an old head though. I crossed Spring 14, so I've been in the sorority for a long time.
Oh yeah, you an old head.
Old head. That's why you don't see nothing. Like you probably know. You probably knew I was in the sorority when I said it, but I don't really post about it because I kind of been there, done that. Yeah. I love the sorority. Been in it for a long time.
Yeah.
I did my work when I was in undergrad. So
for sure. It's a time and a place for everything. I think when you're in undergrad and you get those couple years outside of graduation, you like kind of all in. You still kind of going to the fullest. But then after a while, you get older. I see a lot of people that I know in sororities as they get older. They prideful of being in a sorority and being in a fraternity, but the drama, the politics and the drama that come with it, they be like,
I'm too. Let it go.
Yeah, let it go.
Because these sororities and fraternities are not paying your bills.
They are not.
Let it go. I truly hate that. Because I'm like, at this big age, you 42 years old still talking junk about AKAs, or you still 50 years old talking junk about the alphas. Like, come on, let it go. At this
big age, I'm weak. Okay.
At this big grown age. No, but I have respect and love for the whole entire Divine Nine, because it definitely made HBCUs what they are.
Yeah.
What they have grown to be. So I will always have love for Divine Nine. I will always have love for AKA. I had some great experiences when I was in undergrad, so I will never take that experience for granted. So yeah,
I believe it. South Carolina State. I done been on that campus a couple of times trying to come to the homecomings and stuff. So I already know. Yeah, listen, we know
our homecomings are different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. We know about the homecoming. It's different, all right. And then you said. So you the oldest sibling. So how many siblings do you have? And
So I'm my mom's only child.
Okay.
But how I be on the other side.
Your daddy got some.
Look, let me not do my daddy like that.
Listen, my daddy like that.
Listen, I think a lot of folks' daddies like that. But so I'm my mom's only child. But on my dad's side, I am his firstborn. I have my younger sister and brother. They are twins. They're 22.
Okay.
And then my other brother, I think my brother is 27. No, he's not 27. He's probably like 26.
Yeah.
And then I have a stepsister and brother. They're twins. And they are 20. They just turned 29.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I mean, technically, I'm the oldest, but I'm not the oldest.
Got you. I don't know how that
I'm
works.
my dad's oldest, for real, for real. I'm my mom's only child, so I am the oldest.
So technically, yeah, in your little personal bubble, you are the oldest. Okay, got you.
Because my stepsister and brother, they just turned 29 in March, and then I turned 29 in June. So we were all born in '93.
Bet.
But like as far as when you talk about my daddy kids, yeah.
Okay, that's what's up, March baby. So my dynamic is not like that. It's more or less like, so I got 4 other siblings, so it's 5 of us. So I got 2 brothers, 2 sisters. I got 1 older brother, 1 older sister, and then 1 younger brother, 1 younger sister. So I'm right in the middle. Wow. We all got, most of us got, me and my younger sister got the same mom and dad. My younger brother we got the same dad. My older brother, we got the same dad. My older sister, we not technically blood related. It was kind of more married in, but that's my sister, so I just call her my sister anyway. So it's all love. But man, that's great. Well, that's what's up. Glad to know that we don't have no fur babies going around. Nobody being neglected. But some hot picks. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, like 4 questions. I call them hot picks. It's really just we want to get to know you a little bit before we dive in. And so, what does a productive day look like for Lanisa?
Woo! Dang. Okay. That's a good question though. So I would say a productive day for me. I set my alarm at 5:50.
Okay.
I set my alarm at 5:50 a.m. So regardless if I'm going let me just go through my day. A productive day for me would be getting up at 5:50, being to the gym no later than like 6:15, working out, coming home, shower, morning routine, whatever, and getting started with my day by 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Like I said, I make wigs. So, just working on orders, and just being productive up until that time, having a lunch, because a lot of times, working from home or just being an entrepreneur, like sometimes we do skip lunch, or just like hairstylists in general, like sometimes we do skip lunch. So, making sure that I have a lunch, being done with my day by 6 o'clock. If I have orders, dropping them off to the post office, because the post office by my house closed at 7. Okay. So dropping those orders off, and then coming home, being able to relax, have a good dinner, shower, and just kind of relaxing. I think that would be a very productive day. Oh, forgot about posting on social media, because that matters.
Yeah, that matters. How often do you have a productive day?
It's not often.
It's not?
Yeah, it's not often. Just being honest. I mean, just being completely transparent as an entrepreneur. Every day looks different.
Yes.
So some days I may need a mental health day.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Some days I may be extremely tired and I need a mental health day. And so although I may not lay around or just relax all day, for me, a mental health day may be getting up when I feel like it, not when I feel like it, because I can't stay. I'm a person, I wake up early no matter what happened the night before. I could be out till 4 o'clock in the morning and I will still wake up at the crack ass of dawn.
You got a gift, because I can't do it.
I don't know why, but that's just how I am. But I'm also a sleepy girl. Like, I will fall asleep like that. I will literally fall asleep. Like,
what?
I will literally fall asleep, like, no matter what it is, no matter where I am. If I'm tired, like, my body just goes into shutdown mode. I don't know what that's about. I tried to get tested to see if I was narcoleptic. I asked my doctor one time, I was like, can you, run some tests on me to make sure?
What do you say?
It was a lady. She was like, okay. So she checked my thyroids and things like that. And she was like, you're fine. You just need to make sure you take a nap. Yeah. I don't take naps. Ooh. I'm not a napper.
Yeah, you got to take
I'm not a napper. So I be up on go. And that's why I crash. I wake up so early and that's why I crash. I can't go past 11 o'clock unless I'm like.
Especially when you're waking up that early, like you gotta have a nap. Like for me, I've been noticing. So like for the past 3 weeks, I've been waking up at like 4 o'clock, 4:30, hitting the gym by 5, and then waking up so early, like I can stay up all day, but it's like if I do that for 2 days in a row, that second day I'm dead at like 6 p.m. I'm no good during the day because I'm tired. I never had a nap or not getting a lot of sleep. So I definitely got to squeeze in a nap. I'm getting into a routine where I'm learning how to squeeze in like a nap, because my naps will go, like I try to be like, all right, let me take a 30, 45-minute nap. But them, they'll run for about 2 hours. I'll be like,
that's a tease. It take you about 30 minutes to fall asleep.
Yeah,
It takes about 30 minutes to fall asleep. That is a tease. That would be a tease for me.
That's a tease for sure. Okay, so that's what's up. That's what a productive day looks like. Now, are there any hobbies that people don't know about? Like, do we got some hobbies? Anything that you like to do besides, like, you know, obviously being an entrepreneur, being focused on your business 100%? Like, you got to have something that can mentally take you out of the space of orders, you know, putting stuff together. You know what I'm saying? So, what are some of those hobbies that you know, really like to do or that you enjoy?
I would say, I don't know if this is really a hobby, but I do love watching YouTube.
Okay, that's a hobby.
I love watching YouTube. Like, I love watching, like, vlogs. I don't know. I guess in a sense you in other people's business, but I love watching vlogs. Like, it just, first of all, I try to vlog and it just don't be successful for me at times. And so I'm just so, like, amazed. Just watching people, like, be able to, like, record their lives. But also recently, a hobby for me that I've noticed has been content creating. Like, I make, like, mini vlogs. You know how we do now.
Reels.
I make mini vlogs, and I had to have a conversation. I was talking to one of my friends one day, and I was just like, I know I have to create content for my business, but creating content for my personal page is something that I truly enjoy, because it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right,
You know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I enjoy, like, learning new things, like with with InShot, and, like, you know, playing around with different fonts and just trying to figure out my style. So lately that has been my hobby, but a lot of people don't know. Well, they probably do know that I like to skate.
No, you a skater? Are you Usher good? Like,
no,
I'm talking about with the glide.
No, I have my own skates, but I'm not Usher good. But I can definitely skate. Like, I was that girl that used to go to the skating ring when I was in little summer camps, and they used to do those games, and racing games. That was me. I used to be at the skating ring, so I've skated at Cascade and Skate Town, like, since I was a kid.
My fault. New. Hey, that's what.
I'm not, you know, I have to, you know, get back into it. That's something that I did say I wanted to get back into like this year, because I didn't buy those skates for nothing, obviously.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely want to get back into skating, because that was something that I truly enjoyed when I was a kid.
That's
like,
dope.
Skating. Yeah, so I would say skating and just playing around with, like, video editing, you know, content creating, and just learning, like I said, just learning my style. Because a lot of people ask me questions too. I get a lot of questions about how I edit my videos and things like that. And I'm like, look, y'all trying to set up a one-on-one?
We got to start charging. Hey, come on now.
Listen, no, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. But when the price go up, the price go. No, I'm kidding. That's not my area of expertise. But I just enjoy it. Like, it's just very therapeutic for me. And I would say another hobby, I like to knit.
Oh, you a knitter?
Nobody knows this.
Oh, well, we got an exclusive. Welcome.
Nobody knows this. Yeah. I like to knit. When the pandemic first started, I literally, like, when the pandemic first started a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, when it started in 2020.
What?
I went to Hobby Lobby, and I picked up a lot of, like, different yarns.
Yeah.
I was making blankets, and, you know, I don't know. That's something that I used to do when I was a kid with my aunt. My aunt, she's a knitter, and I remember when I was a kid, for every, like, holiday, like Christmas and things like that, she would send me, like, hats, scarves, gloves. I remember she sent me one my senior year in high school for Christmas, and it was like this. It was like pink. It was like hot pink, purple, a baby blue hat. It was like a little beanie with a matching scarf. So that was around the time when, like, those colorful Uggs started coming out. I had the hot pink Uggs. You can tell me that.
Look, the hot pink.
You could not tell me anything.
you was in your bag then.
Listen, okay. But no, yeah, I do like to knit. So just kind of so I guess this is a reminder to myself, just kind of like going back to the things that I used to do as a kid, just, picking those things back up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of people don't know this about me as well. Like, I don't do it often, but when I was younger, my grandmother taught me and my sister how to crochet. So I know when you say knitting, like knitting is actually really cool when you sit down and just like piece it together, and you can kind of create like little scarves and stuff like that. So it is cool. I don't know how to.
I know how to crochet too.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it no more, but I feel like if I was to sit down with somebody and they be like, all right, this is how you do it, I could probably get back with it. But the last question is, any guilty pleasures? So whether it's I don't know, like ice cream late at night, like what's a guilty pleasure that you have that you sometimes ashamed to let people know?
I'm not ashamed, but I'ma always have some sweet.
Yeah.
Gotta have some sweet. I got to. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because me and my dad are the same. Like after we finish eating, dang, I need some sweet.
I got to.
I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a spoonful of ice cream,
yeah,
a cookie, a little something, some fruit. I got to have a drink. I gotta have some sweet. I don't know. I gotta have some sweet.
Okay, then we appreciate it. We appreciate those hot picks, man. Giving us an insight about you, giving us a little exclusive, letting people know that we knit a little bit, we skate sometime. We ain't usher good, but just know we ain't hitting the flow though. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. So I really want to just go into it and kind of start from the beginning. I love asking this question. What did you want to be growing up? Because obviously, you went into the mental health profession, and now you're into the entrepreneur space. What did you actually want to be growing up? Like, you walking around like, I want to be this when I grow up. I want to be that. Like, what's some of those fond memories of you saying like what you wanted to be growing up?
So I think this changed so much when I was a kid. And I actually talked about this yesterday. Like, I always knew I wanted to help. Yeah. I always knew I wanted to help people. And it's so crazy that you say, like, it's so crazy, like, that we say, oh, we always want to help, because no matter what you're doing, you're helping somebody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No matter what profession you're in, you're helping somebody. So I always knew I wanted to help people. Early on, I wanted to be a pediatrician. What? Like, yes. Okay. And it's so crazy because I love kids. So every career path that I thought I wanted to do, it was kind of based around children. So I knew as a kid, early on, I wanted to be a pediatrician. Like, I just kept saying it. And I used to enjoy going to see my pediatrician as a kid so much. And I think that's kind of something that kind of sparked my interest. But then I think when I got to maybe like middle, high school, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And then like towards the later end of me going to college, I said I wanted to be a social worker. I had connected so great with my social worker from high school that, I don't know, she just kind of she had such a positive influence on me. But of course, when you're getting into that field, like just being somebody who's working in the human services field, like it's not fruitful. As far as finance, but financially it's not a very fruitful field. So my cheerleading coach at the time, she was just like, girl, don't go to school for that. Like, go to school for something else, like maybe speech pathology or something. Yeah. She was like, you're gonna make more money doing that. And so I was like, okay, cool. So on my application, when I applied for South Carolina State, I put that I wanted to do social work. But when I got there my freshman year, I changed to speech pathology. Okay. And I think I was probably like into my sophomore year, I had started taking those introductory courses, and I was just in there like, what the hell? I don't like this.
This ain't it.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. No.
I'm like, I don't like this. And I've never been a person I wasn't failing my classes, but I had started struggling really, really bad in my classes. And so one of my close friends, who's also my line sister, she was in that major too. And so I used to have conversations with her all the time, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because she's an actual licensed speech language pathologist right now.
Okay.
And so she's passionate about it. You know, you tell her anything about a child not pronunciating their words or struggling to speech,
she already help.
She know how to help, like ear, throat, all that type of stuff. So we in class and we just talking about how the ears connected, and I'm just like, nah, this ain't it. So I had so many conversations with her and just saying, like, I don't really know if this is for me. And then I was thinking back to what even made me want to do social work, because not only from my high school social worker, but just the mentors that I had, the community programs that I grew up in, like it all kind of went into the same hub, you know what I'm saying? And so I ended up changing my major. I changed my major. So I was kind of behind. So I had to go to summer school. And I remember going to summer school, sitting in that class. I think it was like intro to social work or something like that. Yeah. I remember sitting in that class. And when I tell you, I was so intrigued. Ooh. I enjoyed it. And it's so crazy because I don't feel like people feel that way about that field, but it's so much that you can do with social work, within social work. Coming into it, I didn't know that I could branch off and just do so much within the field, because you have like your policy advocates, and then you also have your community advocates. You also have the ones that are clinical based, providing mental health services to families, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's so many different avenues that you can go down in social work. So I remember telling my friend, who's my line sister, I was like, girl, I love it. Like, I love it. And so that's when I knew I had made the right decision, because, if you're not passionate and you're not like really enjoying learning, it's not for you. Yeah, it's probably not for I've never been a science girl, because I don't like blood, bugs. None of that. I don't like dissecting nothing. You know what I'm saying? That ain't me. I'm not a math girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a math girl, and I'm not a teacher. Like, I'm a teacher, but I'm not a teacher, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I made the right decision with that, but that's kind of how I got into
everything that you're doing now. Yeah. So, like, I mean, you really spoke on a lot of different things. For one, just being able to be open-minded to say, hey, you can change your mind. You know what I'm saying? Not only were you, kind of almost 2 years into, your schooling as far as college go, and then you make the decision to change. Like, what was your mindset? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Because a lot of people stick with a major that they don't like, but they can kind of pass it. They'll do the grunt work just to say, all right, I'm getting through it. But they deep down really don't like it. And they, once they graduate, they got to find something that's in that field. And it's just like, they regret the decision to continue to go forward versus making that decision to say, hey, this might not be what I want to do. So what was your process or your mindset when you like, this ain't it? Like, were you nervous? Were you scared to just say, hey, I need to change my major? Did you feel... Was there any type of guilt, shame, anything like that, at making that decision?
Yes, I would definitely say yes. So I was definitely nervous, more so because I'm like, dang, if I switch my class, because I had talked to my advisor, if I switch my classes, my dad is calling me.
Speak of dad.
Okay, but if I switch my classes, I knew I was going to be behind. She had already laid that out. She was like, you're going to have to go to summer school, or you're going to graduate a semester late. And I'm just like, I don't know why in my mind I just felt like graduating late was so bad. Right. But I didn't mind going to summer school. I spent the summer there. I took those classes I needed to take. I got me a little job. I had called and told my mom and my dad, I'm like, I'm staying in Orangeburg for the summer. They like, what? And in Orangeburg for the summer, I had got me a job at Zaxby's, and I had got a job at Bath and Body Works. Okay. So, and then my daddy was like, okay, well, if you find you a place to stay, you can stay. Mm-hmm. And those were probably the worst words that he had said, because he was upset because I found a place to stay. Yeah. I found a place to stay, and I got 2 jobs. And so I'm like, I don't need nothing from you.
That's that.
Hey,
I'll take care of myself. You know what I'm saying?
They said I got the financial aid, so I'm straight. Yeah. But I was definitely nervous. Not even about telling my parents, because they didn't care. You know, as long as I was getting that degree, that's all they cared about.
Right.
As long as I was getting that degree, that's all they really cared about. But I was just more so nervous and scared about, dang, what if I change and I really don't like it, and I got to change again?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people will sit in stuff and not really know if it's for them until it's too late.
Yep.
You know, a lot of times people change their majors a lot in school, but I would rather change and do something that I really enjoy, opposed to just kind of sitting in it and being unsatisfied. Like, so yeah, I was nervous, I was scared, but I'm so glad that my advisor and my friend helped me kind of get through that, because I was just like and then I felt kind of bad because I felt like I had let my cheerleading coach down, which that shouldn't have mattered to me at the time, because one, she wasn't paying for my education. You know, no disrespect to her, but she wasn't paying for my education. And then on top of that, like,
but
it didn't matter.
I can see, but I can see why, because sometimes when you get people that really invest in you, or they you know, they just giving you that help or that feedback, and you feel like, because you already probably expressed like, this is something that I really want to do, but then once you get into it, it's like, dang, I hate that I'm changing my mind, and now I gotta, you know, go and just be like, hey, look, I thought I wanted to do this, but I don't. Because I done been there before where people done help me out, and you know, when I thought I wanted to do something, and now I got to go back and say, look, this ain't what I really want to do. I appreciate your time, I thank you for the advice, but this ain't what I want to do. So I can understand, you know, why you felt like that, but you're absolutely right. It does not matter. You know, it's your life. At the end of the day, it's not your, you know, your coach's life. So you got to be comfortable at whatever you want to do, because after you graduate, either
you gotta sit with it.
Yeah, you gotta sit with it, or you going back to school and trying to do it all over again because you trying to get into the right field. So you gotta be comfortable with your decision. And so for all the listeners, viewers, you know, just listen to what she's saying. You know, like, you know, if you get that gut feeling, because you know when it's like, I don't know, I don't like this. You need to go with the gut feeling and change it. But obviously, sometimes this is what I get scared of myself. It's like, you get that gut feeling, you change, and then getting that gut feeling again, and now you feel like, to me, I feel like I'm starting to quit. Like, I do it, if I'm doing it too many times, I'm like, all right, I'm quitting, and that's not me. So like, you know, I'm pretty sure you probably dealt with that, and that was one of the things.
It's so funny you said that, because I feel like you know, just being completely transparent, like just making the decision to kind of step away from the mental health field. And I don't want to say too much, because I feel like this is probably gonna be one of your questions, but just making the decision to step away from, you know, the mental health field and just kind of focusing on my business. Like, I feel like, you know, it was that tug and pull. I was experiencing that again. Like, dang, girl, you just, dang, like, you go again.
It's weird, man. It's really weird when you make decisions like that. Like, obviously you got passion, you know, I want to do this full time, you know what I'm saying? I can make the money, I know it's there, but you can't, sometimes you can't do both. You know what I'm saying? Or if you can do both, you burning the candle at both ends. You know, at some point you're gonna kind of get burnt out. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about, I always ask, what went into your decision of saying that you wanted to go to South Carolina State out of all schools? Because I'm gonna tell you, I could have went to South Carolina State and played football. And at the time, people was in my head was like, oh, you don't want to go to South Carolina State. Like, they was going through the credibility issues at the time, and it was like, look, you want your degree to mean something. But then sometimes I look back and I'm like, man, what could have happened, like, if I would have went to South Carolina State? You know what I'm saying? I like that, get that HBCU experience, because that's one of the things that I didn't get, that I wish I did get. So I do want to, that's one of the questions I want to know, you know, what was the decision, like, what went into the decision of saying, hey, I'm going to go to South Carolina State? Number two, quick question. You cheered at South Carolina State?
I did.
So you know Jada McCrory, last name Jada. God, not last name Jada, first name Jada. Freak.
What year was she at State?
She was, I feel like she was there when you kind of was there, but it had to been like 2013 to 2017.
I wasn't cheering then.
Oh, so you wasn't cheering then? Okay, got it.
So I'm gonna answer this, and then I'm gonna answer your other question.
Okay.
When I got there, my freshman year, I had tried out my senior year in high school, got there, and made the team, and they made me a captain my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was captain freshman year, and then I had got involved with Royal Court. So I had, at the end of my freshman year, I had ran for Miss Sophomore.
Yeah.
And so because of the expectations and the roles and responsibilities of being on Royal Court at the time, I had to choose.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't, because I can't do both, because,
Right.
you know, you got to travel with the football team and you got to cheer for the game, but I can't be cheering for the game and be sitting in the stands looking cute, crown on, you know.
Right.
So I had to make a decision. But also, too, I kind of got to a point where I was kind of over it,
Okay.
just because of, you know.
Just everything that goes
Yeah, you know, they didn't really like me as much because, well, at first, some of them did not like me because I was one of the captains and I was a freshman. And so, you know, I felt kind of intimidated. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, dang, I ain't asked for this.
Yeah, you ain't asked for it. Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like, dang, like y'all hating on me because I'm, you know, I'm first
but
of all,
I
I'm a
also
leader.
feel like it was more so of a we finna break you in type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, we all ended up being super cool. You
That's
know,
good.
super like we became a big family. But it got to a point where I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't want to do this no more. You know, like, some people that's something that they'll be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For
Yeah,
sure.
I'm her. But I've never been that type of girl to just be like, I've never been very boastful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking about other people's feelings, and I'm like, dang, these girls been on this team for like 2-3 years, and they made me captain. They made me one of the captains. But I mean, it was really good. It worked out really good. But as far as me deciding to go to South Carolina State, so I was not supposed to go to South Carolina State initially. Initially, I was not supposed to go. I had applied to so many schools prior to. I don't know why, but I was so stuck on going to Valdosta State. I don't know why. I was stuck on going to Valdosta State, I think my junior year. I had applied for that school, and then my counselors, my school guidance counselors started putting in our head HBCUs. And so we used to have all these schools coming to us, and, you know, like the ambassadors of the school would come to our high school. So Alabama A&M came, of course, Fort Valley, Albany, Savannah. And so I always said, I don't want to go to school here. Like, I'm like, I go to high school with y'all. I don't want to see y'all when I go to college. I don't want to see y'all when I go to college. You know what I'm saying? So I had applied to FAMU. I had applied to Clark Atlanta, even though I didn't want to go. But them HBCUs, like, I just wanted to go. And so what other schools I applied to? I applied to South Carolina State at the last minute.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was never well, I'm not going to say I wasn't intrigued, but I never really wanted to go to Howard. That wasn't one of my schools, but I definitely wanted to go to, Bethune-Cookman.
Bethune-Cookman.
That was a school I applied to. So at that point, it was kind of between FAMU and Bethune. And so I had went on a college tour. We went to Bethune. I didn't like the campus.
You didn't like Bethune campus?
I did not like the campus. And then I think one of the tour guides had told us that, and no disrespect to the school, but one of the tour guides had told us, like, she was buried on the campus, or her memorial or something. It just kind of spooked me out.
Okay.
You know, and I could be wrong. I could be, like, you know, misinterpreting what he said, but that kind of spooked me out. But also, I didn't really, you know, I wasn't really feeling it like that. I didn't get that home feel.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what happened with fam. I just ended up not going. Me and my friends had went to North Carolina A&T for a visit, and that wasn't even a school that sparked my mind. I don't know why. I just wanted to be in Florida. Yeah. Right. Being young and dumb, wanting to be in. That's all I cared about was being in Florida.
I could have went to Florida too. I was like, ooh, wee.
That's all I cared about was being in Florida.
That weather, come on now.
Exactly, being by the beach. So we went to North Carolina A&T for a visit, and they had this thing called the band brawl. It was between like the North Carolina A&T and South Carolina State. Like, that's normally like a big game.
Yeah.
And so they used to do these band brawls, and my friends were in the band. Like, they went to Mays and like Grady High School.
Yeah.
And so one of my best friends, she was a dancer. The other one, she played tuba in the band, and the other one, she played at Mays the trombone. And so I was the cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? So we all went to the game, and so they feeling the band. They like, oh,
yeah,
you know. And my other best friend, she looking at the dancers like they all dancing, they all dancing or whatever. She feeling it, but it wasn't North Carolina A&T at the time. South Carolina State had won the game.
Yeah.
They cheerleaders were so lit. Like I was like, okay, I can see me. I can see me.
You start envisioning yourself.
I think I was a junior, probably a senior in high school. Yeah, I was a senior. This was probably like first semester of my senior year in high school. So, you know, I'm all nervous, being all shy. I want to go down there and speak to them and stuff. I'm just so intrigued. Like when I say they were so lit, and I think because my mindset was so much different, I wasn't even thinking about other things at the time. I'm like, shoot, college seemed like
it sound like the place to be.
South Carolina State seemed like the place to be. So we all applied, and they literally, we all applied, and I think we had went down for like a little tour or something like that. Yeah. But you know how colleges get you. Love my school to death, but they got us. Bruh. Love my school to death. They gonna make the campus look real cute. They gonna
hype it up.
Real good. They gonna hype it up to reel you in. And they accepted us. We had applied and we got accepted on the spot. And then I had got a scholarship too. They had gave me I had the Alumni Association scholarship, and then also I got a cheerleading scholarship.
Okay.
So I went back, I tried out, you know, and then the rest was history. Now I can't lie. When I first got there, my freshman year, I remember being in my dorm, and I was just sad. Like, I was just like, I don't like this.
What?
I called my daddy, and I was just like, Daddy, I want to come home.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, I want to come home. Like, I'm about to transfer schools. Like, and I knew that Clark Atlanta was not the school for me, because I personally, Clark, or just specifically Clark, because that was one of the schools that I applied to too, but I just knew that school wasn't for me because I felt like I needed to be away from home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Had I been in Atlanta going to Clark, I would not have been focused. And my daddy said the same thing. He was like, I'm glad you went there. Yeah. Because I would not have been focused. I would have not, I wouldn't have accomplished as much as I did being there, because I don't know, I just kind of just stepped out of my comfort zone and just got into it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I remember being in one of the little seminars, our freshman seminars, and somebody said, college is what you make it.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? College is what you make it. And at that point, I just kind of just stepped out my comfort zone and just started doing stuff. I had did the Miss Black and Gold pageant. Okay. I ran for Miss Sophomore. I was a cheerleader, you know, just trying to get involved. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just to make myself feel better, because I was not feeling it. It was a culture shock for me because it was country.
Oh, it's definitely country.
It was so country, and that was my first time ever hearing talk Geechee. Oh my gosh. My sweet mate, love her to death. Everybody know her. Her name was Ebony. I think they used to call her like E-Chains. Yeah. But she was from Charleston.
That Geechee.
And I tell you, this little girl was so loud. Mind you, I told you I'm 4'11". We were dang near the same height. Yeah. But she was very, very petite, very slim, very skinny. When I tell you, bundles down to her ass, long lashes.
She wasn't playing no games.
So vibrant, and we did not click at first, but towards the end of the year, we ended up becoming so cool. Like, she was so sweet. I hope she's doing well, but she was so sweet. Like, oh my gosh! But just hearing people talk Geechee, I'm like, where are they from? You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I love hearing the accent. I love it now, and I think it's because I was there for so long. Like, a lot of my professors or advisors, they had that Geechee accent. A lot of people I know have that Geechee accent. And it was just cool. You know, I ended up loving it. I met lifelong friends, you know, still got connections with people there, still can pull up on campus and, you know, go to people's offices and stuff. So that was like, it was, I'm not gonna say it was a mistake because it wasn't a mistake.
Right.
Definitely wasn't a mistake, but it just wasn't something that it wasn't a school I was initially planning on going to. Yeah. But I'm so glad and thankful that I did.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And I just love that, the school is getting, a lot of recognition. Our former Miss South Carolina State, she was Miss USA. Yeah. And I was actually on her royal court.
Yeah.
I was actually on her royal court. Super, 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 super sweet. I love my experience there. Like, I honestly don't feel like I would have changed anything. Like, everything that happened, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself. Though when people say college are some of the best years of your life, they not lying. Bruh, they not lying.
Not lying.
They are not lying.
You need to, I think that's super dope. Like, I talk to so many people that are part of HBCUs, and I always tell them I can see the pride. I can see, you mention that HBCU, they're gonna go up about it. Like, you gonna talk about our HBCU like that. So I love that, you guys can still carry that pride, because it's almost similar to like high school, like going through high school and just knowing like, oh, now this is where I went to high school at, and then just having that same experience in college is great. It's same, but it's so much different. But I do recommend that anybody listening, you need to go to college to experience whether it's for you or not. Also to get that experience of the cultures coming together, whether it's a PWI, whether it's an HBCU, you need to be shocked a little bit culturally, because I think that's how you step outside of your comfort zone, and that's how you get into things that you probably wouldn't have gotten into whether or not the opportunity was forced upon you. So I think that's dope, and you made a great point as far as like just being at a school and just saying like, this ain't for me. Like, you could have easily went back home and like,
I could have went back home, or I could have transferred to Savannah or Albany. But I love how you said the opportunity was forced upon me, because it was. Because I would never say that me attending South Carolina State was a mistake, but the opportunity was definitely forced upon me. One, I felt like it was like a comfort decision because I knew my friends were coming with me, but also too, like I said, I got 2 scholarships, so I got the money to go. I got the money to go, so I was like, shoot. And that was another thing. I didn't have scholarships to go to FAMU. I didn't have scholarships to go to FAMU. I didn't have scholarships to go to any of the other schools that I had looked into. But again, like, I had made my decision to actually pursue going to an HBCU at such a last minute. I had kind of missed some of the deadlines too, because I was applying to all these other schools like Valdosta State, University of West Georgia, Georgia Southern, and I'm so glad I didn't go to those schools.
Man, I played some of those schools, played against some of those schools like Valdosta State, University of West Georgia. And so I'm familiar with all those schools that you talked about. Now, Georgia Southern, that's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. It's almost like Orangeburg a little bit, like just. But with Orangeburg, it's a lot more of us there, and you can feel a little bit more safe and create your own fun. But Georgia Southern is definitely in the middle of nowhere. But Lanisa, man, we're gonna keep the conversation moving forward. Talk to me, and I'm probably sure you was going to get into this, and this is where you was like, I'm gonna save it for later, but. Obviously, you graduated, you went into the mental health profession. How long were you doing that until you said, because I'm assuming you're a full-time entrepreneur now, right?
Yes.
So how long were you doing the mental health thing before you said, all right, I gotta go full into, my own business and whatnot? Because that gotta be scary, like, and
it's still scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's still scary.
Yeah. So talk to me about that, as far as what you were doing before you said, all right, I'm gonna just go full on into my entrepreneurship.
So I was working, let me see, when did I start this job? My last job, I was working in 2019.
Okay.
I started that one in 2019 as a therapist, but again, excuse me, the pandemic had just started, like 2020, so this was like really my first year as, like a mental health therapist or whatever. And I do this because I was I was working towards my licensure.
Okay.
So I had started off, doing that, but then the pandemic started, and so everybody had to go home. Everybody's mental health was in complete shambles, including mine.
Wow.
Everybody's mental health was in complete shambles because we were taken out of our everyday norm, and placed into very uncertain circumstances. Right. We didn't know when we were going to go back to work, or we didn't know when we were going to, see my clients, because I was working with children. Okay. So I was providing mental health services to children. I worked at a middle school. And so a lot of my clients had become suicidal. And that was kind of, that
way heavy on you. Yeah.
It's heavy. And by me being an empath, I felt like I had mastered being able to separate myself from my clients. I had mastered being able to leave work at work. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, just having to work from home, the two just started to collide. And I just kind of felt like the walls were just coming in. You know what I'm saying? And so it got very stressful. My work-life balance was in shambles. And then at the time I had my own personal things going on as well. So, just a lot of life transitions and things like that. So I had moved into my new apartment, and I made the decision when I moved into my apartment. I was just like, because when I quit that job, well, I didn't quit, but I resigned from that job. And I remember having a conversation with my supervisor, and I told her, I was just like, I need to take some time, because I had a therapist. And it's recommended when you are providing mental health services, you need a therapist yourself. So, I had a therapist, and I was just telling her, I just had so much going on, like with work, personal life, you know what I'm saying, family. It was so much going on at one time. And I just said, I just need a break. Like, I just need a break, a mental break, not a mental health day. I needed a break. Yeah. It got to a point where I would call out of work. I was calling out of work because I just could not. Like, I couldn't find the strength to just
go get in and do your job.
Pour into my clients, and I wasn't where I needed to be. And so I had a conversation with my therapist, and my therapist was just like, maybe you just need to take some time away from work. And so I had talked to my supervisor. I had kind of just let her know what was going on in my personal life. And I just told her straight up. I was just like, I don't feel like my mental health is in the best space right now for me to be providing mental health services to my clients. I need a break. I need some time. And so I took some time off work. I think I took like 2 weeks off of work. And then after that, I came back. This was like maybe February. And then I ended up resigning in March. Wow. And when I resigned, I moved into my new place. I had already lined another job up.
Okay, so you was already working.
I already had another job lined up. Same industry though.
Okay.
I had already lined another job up. But it didn't feel right at that point. It didn't feel right for me. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this full throttle. I'm gonna do it full throttle. Was not prepared. I had savings, of course. Right. But it wasn't like I have prepared my savings for this type of
move
situation.
Transition.
Right. And so I just kind of just say, you know what, I'm gonna just run my business full time, because I feel like if I can pour into my business 100%, I will get it where I need it to be. But I did that. And like I said, it was scary. It was very scary. But I just remember just seeing how good, my orders were doing, and just seeing that money that was coming in. Because what people don't realize is, selling hair, or just, the beauty industry, period, is a very lucrative industry. It's very lucrative business. Yes. If you're selling hair or making wigs. And at that point, before everything started raising, it made sense. Yeah. It made sense at that point, and so I was just cool. I when I say I was good, like, just like on some, I'm getting good money.
I'm getting money. Yeah. It's a whole lot of money in this month.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not to share too much. Like it felt good, you know. And so my family were nervous. Like my grandfather, because he old school. My granddad is 86 years old.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? He old school. He just thinking about all these other factors. And my dad. I started telling him like the type of money that I was getting. He was like, damn, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told him, like, yeah, somebody just booked me for a one-on-one class. How much you charge for that? $700. Damn, girl. You know what I'm saying? All I got to do is teach you. I got to teach you the game. That's all I got to do is teach you how to make a wig. You know what I'm saying? That's $700.
Right.
You know? And so I got comfortable, but then I don't know. How can I say this? I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking good care of myself. Like I felt like I had put myself into work mode. Like when I tell you, I was on go.
But what else was you gonna do though? You had to quit your job. You know what I'm saying? Most people, when you got a job, you feel comfortable because you know, like, I got a check coming in every week, every 2 weeks, however that go. But then you let that go and you say, now everything on you. Like, I've been in situations where I work strictly off commission. You know what I'm saying? I got to make a living off of just selling. When you get into that mindset, if you don't know how to really control it, you can really indulge in work and not look at
what I did.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I did. I indulged in work, and I got to a point where I was really ignoring my personal problems, you know what I'm saying? Because I was just drowning myself into work.
Yeah.
Like it got to a point where it honestly became toxic, and my therapist was just like, you need to take a break. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you need to take a step back. You need to, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started trying to get into a routine, because it would be times where, because I told you, I'm a very sleepy girl now. So if I go to bed, it would be times where I would go to bed at like 11 o'clock. I would lay down I'm going to take a nap. I lay down at 11 o'clock. I'll probably be up at 3 working on wigs. Up at 3, you know what I'm saying? Just doing stuff. And so it got to a point where I was just like, okay, I can't ignore this. Let me just face this head on. So, I did kind of slow down a bit. But I was still fine. You know what I'm saying? And I needed that, you know, because some people don't see it. But again, I needed that, because high functioning depression is real. Like, high functioning depression is real. So many people out here who have high functioning depression. And so, like I said, I just had to get to a point where I started addressing my own stuff, and, just kind of working through it and just giving myself grace and not becoming a workaholic, not becoming a slave to my business. And, my mindset is different from a lot of people when it comes to entrepreneurs. But I remember I went to this career day, and one of the guys said, there's a difference between being an entrepreneur and owning your own business.
What's the difference?
Because when you're an entrepreneur, the money is coming to you.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? This is how he explained it. When you're an entrepreneur, the money is coming to you. But when you own your own business, you out there hustling. You hustling for that money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You taking any and every opportunity to get that money. Like you said, you've been in industries where you just had to get that money. And so that was my mindset. I'm doing this by myself. I'm paying all my bills by myself. I got to get this money. I got to, and so I got to a point where I was just like, okay, let me slow it down. If I got to get a job, I got to get a job. It's okay.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? I tried it out. It didn't work. That's fine. I was okay with that, because for me, I would rather my mental health be in the best space opposed to me just trying to keep up an image. And I never even really came out and said, "Oh, I'm a full-time entrepreneur."
Right.
Prior to, because I've been doing it for over a year, but I did it for a year. In March of this year, made a year that I had been doing it. So, it worked for me for that time being, but and during that time I had time to just get myself together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I hopped into it. But that's kind of how I hopped into it.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. I think that's very. I mean that's very motivational to me. Like, and I want people to be mindful. Like when you hear people say like, I just quit and jumped into the entrepreneurship space. You got to make sure that before you do that. I'm pretty sure I don't know, you might have talked to some people, but you understood your finances. You understood what you was bringing in. You understood that what you needed to support yourself, and you was able to do that. Like, I know it sounds good, like, and to me, like, sometimes people be like, it sounds good to hear, like, oh, I just jumped out on faith, and this is what happened. But you gotta be smart.
If I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it that way.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it that way.
Got you.
If I go back and do it again, I wouldn't do it that way.
Got you. So you wouldn't do it that way.
I wouldn't do it that way. I would prepare more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I think the situation that I was in that time, to me, it was like
that was the best decision.
It was the best decision for me because, like I said, like I just had a lot going on, and I felt more comfortable working for myself while I worked through what I had going on, opposed to me, having to answer to somebody else.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like you said, I knew what my finances were going to be. And I just kind of just went from there. Like, I knew what my finances were going to be. I made sure, I was straight financially. Like I said, I did have my savings. And so I just, did that. But if I could just give, the listeners some advice, I would definitely tell them to prepare for it. It wasn't like I had a conversation or I had somebody like backing me up. Like, right. I talked to a few friends about it, but in my mind was already made up.
Gotcha.
My mind was already made up that I was going to do it.
Yeah, that's good.
Has it been easy? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. It ain't been easy, but it's definitely rewarding. But shoot, full-time entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And sometimes I still feel like it's not for me, especially just being completely honest and transparent, like with inflation and things going up. My rent increased almost $400.
That's wild.
Exactly. And so now I'm just like, dang, that's my car note.
Yeah, like for real.
That's my car note. You know what I'm saying? So, just being completely transparent. Like I tell people, entrepreneurship, full-time entrepreneurship, and just entrepreneurship in general is not for everybody. And that's okay. Yep. Like, that's why I hate conversations when people are just kind of putting people who work 9 to 5s down. Yeah. Because we need them. Yeah. And when you think about it, just like we need people working those 9 to 5s, we need the ones working at these fast food restaurants. Yep. Because I can't tell you how many times I went to Popeyes and they told me to come back at
because they ain't got no
afternoon because they ain't got nobody working.
Right. That's
crazy.
What
I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times I done been to, I don't know, the hot wing place, and I had to sit and wait on some food, And so those are some of the things that I hate that the pandemic did to,
it blew up.
And things like that. Yeah. Like, because during the pandemic, everybody felt like they needed to be an entrepreneur, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm here for people tapping into their creative side and being entrepreneurs. However, like, it's not for everybody.
Right.
You got people out here doing bad business. You got people out here not knowing, how to provide adequate customer service. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. It's not for everybody.
I feel where you're coming from because, like, the pandemic definitely, exposed or created a vacuum space. Like, because once you lose your job security, it's like, how is somebody supposed to make money? So then they start to think of like, okay, I can start doing this on the side or providing this service on the side just to make ends meet, trying because my job ain't got me how I thought they had me. So it's like that pandemic made, created that vacuum. But out of that vacuum, you got people that really are influential that really harp on ownership, being an entrepreneur, people in high places that people listen to. But they don't understand that sometimes being an entrepreneur or having like a successful business, you are an anomaly. Like, you're an outlier. Like, there's something about that person that is setting them apart because not everybody can have a successful business. Not everybody can, survive and live off of this one particular business, but if you can, it's something about you that's totally different than the next person, and everybody doesn't have that tool or skill set, and you sometimes can't teach it. So it's like, people harp on, ownership and being a business owner, but you got something that they probably don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really just tell people and get them to do that. I feel like you should always try it, but we need, like you said, we need those 9 to 5, workers. It's nothing wrong with it. I think we need to talk about increasing their pay a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's the thing with inflation. They're not getting compensated for the time that they're putting into these jobs. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, like, inflation,
it's real.
Inflation has been kicking everybody's behind, and I'm just like, dang, you almost got to go out here and have a 9 to 5, have a side business, and do a little something extra on the side. Whatever you do on the side is your business, but just to make it meet, and it's just really crazy out here. It's just really crazy out here. And the fact that, people are out here doing it by themselves is really wild. Because there have been times where I'm just like, dang, a roommate may not sound too bad.
That's a fact. Hey, it don't sound too bad.
A roommate don't sound too bad. Listen, a roommate don't sound too bad.
Come on, man. But that's what's up. And then I guess my last question is, what makes you what made you figure out, how did you find making wigs was your thing? What goes into being a good wig maker, and why should, not me personally, but if the listeners, if they needed a wig, why should they come to, Lanisa to get their wig made? Like, what separates you from everybody else?
So I got into wig making after a bad cut. Okay. I was in grad school and I wanted to get my hair trimmed and, just treated, because I was in Maryland. I wasn't home, so I couldn't go to my stylist here or whatever. So I found somebody on Stylist and went to her. She chopped my hair up. Chopped it up.
Chopped it up.
She took so many inches off my hair, and then she went in trying to cut layers. But what pissed me off was, after the fact, she was trying to glue. She asked me if I wanted her to glue tracks in my head. And I'm like, you done cut all my hair off, and now you want to glue tracks in my head. So after that, I was just I just felt very insecure about the haircut. I tried to embrace it. People like, oh, it's cute. Yeah. But after a while, it just wasn't giving. So I had some old hair that I had from a sew-in, and I had a closure, and I literally got on YouTube and learned how to make a wig. And when I put it on, I was a little nervous, because I'm like, dang, people gonna notice a wig.
Because they done see you with the cut. Now you
exactly. I'm like, people gonna notice a wig, but everybody thought, because at the time, girls were wearing closure sew-ins, so a lot of people thought it was a sew-in, but it was because it was so flat. Okay. But it was a wig. And so one of my friends, still friends to, they love her to death, she was my first customer. She asked me to make her a wig, and I was like, girl, no, I'm not. I just make it for myself, girl. She was like, girl, just make me a wig. I'll pay you whatever. Just make me a wig. And so I made her a wig. She loved it. Everybody loved it. And so I just got more serious about it, because after people saw her hair and saw her wig and was seeing me, everybody okay, well, can you make me one? And then people's moms wanted wigs. And so this was before I started my business. I think I had did a $75 wig special. Yeah. You send your hair in, because at first I started doing BYOB. So, just buy your own bundles. Okay. And I'm like, send your hair in, I'll make you a wig for $75. And then I had started, that kind of helped me birth my business. So I started, because people trust my judgment. People were asking me hey, where should I get hair from? Right. Who can I get hair from? You know what I'm saying? Do you have a vendor or whatever? And I'm like, I'm tired of sending people elsewhere. Let this be a one-stop shop. I can do this for you, And so that's kind of what kind of helped birth it. I started off making wigs, and then I started selling hair, and then I started using my hair for my wigs. And then I learned, I just kind of just kept going up a notch, kept going up. And I think that's the good thing about being an entrepreneur and just owning your own business. Like each year I strive to do something different, to be a little bit better, like each year. So I had learned, I had got so many orders this one time. This was like Black Friday. I had got probably like 15 wig orders.
Dang.
And I think at this point I was doing them for, I think like $85 or maybe $95. And
Gotcha.
I just add on like the $10 shipping if you were out of state. And so I had did that, and I had so many orders. And so I had went and took this wig making class to learn how to do it on the sewing machine, because it was supposed to like cut your time down, because it was taking me like probably like 2 to 3 hours to hand make them.
Wow. Yeah.
And don't let them want color. That's just taking extra. A lot. And so I was so determined. I don't think I've ever been this determined in my life. I was so determined to learn how to make this wig on the sewing machine. When I got back, all those wigs I had to make were on the sewing machine.
What?
I made all those wigs on the sewing machine, and I was just, I did tell some of my customers, hey, I just learned how to make it on the sewing machine. Like, let me know if you have any issues. And I did run into, some issues. Like, and it's so crazy. It's so crazy that you met with Ashley the other day, because Ashley was like one of my, she was like one of my regulars. Like, she used to, because, she has her own company. We were kind of like thinking about starting our businesses around the same time, because at first we were talking about being like ambassadors for people. And so when she started her business, she used to send me hair to make her wigs for her so that she can promote, her business. And, I'm so thankful for her, love her to death, because she sent me a lot of business, because when I used to make her wigs, she would shout me out, tag me. But there were times where I made her wig and it was probably like maybe lumpy or something, she'd be like, hey sis, like this is what's wrong. But I love that, because they helped me grow.
Got you. The feedback.
You know what I'm saying? That feedback, and I was able to, just go back and just fix the error. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just continuously growing. And that's kind of how, I birthed my business. So now I make wigs, I sell hair, I have hair products, I had merch, but I'm going through some changes. So merch is all sold out, but I still have hair products. And I also offer courses. I also offer one-on-one courses. Oh, I make ponytails too. I forgot. Okay. This is one of my ponytails.
That's what's up. Yeah, plug it in.
But yeah, so I mean, I just really just wanted to be one like big hub of, just beauty, everything.
You ever feel like it's too much for one person? Do you feel like you're going to expand and maybe bring people in, or, is that a goal?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Expansion is definitely a goal. Expansion is definitely a goal, and also to just kind of just bringing somebody in, because I do want to have my own spot, like just strictly for my business. That's something that I've always wanted. Like I've always, wanted a beauty bar. Yeah. Like I've always wanted it. But I think with me just trying to tie that into mental health, I definitely want to cater to cancer patients. Wow. I definitely want to cater to women and children, especially children. Like there's this one girl I follow on Instagram. She makes wigs for children who have alopecia and cancer. Uh-huh. And every time I see her post, it's just so inspiring for me, because I'm like, that's what I want to do. I told you I love kids. Yep. Love kids, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to work with women and children, just providing wigs for them. That's my goal. So, just moving towards that, definitely expansion. And I'm actually working on another business. I've been working on it for the past 2 years, but I'm working on another business. And just kind of taking my time. I ain't gonna lie, I did drag my feet with it a little bit, but just testing out products and things like that. So hopefully have that up and running by the end of this year. Definitely by the end of this year. But yeah, just working on expanding. That's a goal for sure. Like just having my own space and, just being able to do more.
That's what's up. We appreciate it. I love it. I love the hustle, the hard work. And I think, just you wanting to work with kids, I think like that's the dopest idea ever, because those kids, when you going through cancer and you losing your hair, like that's a part of you, you know what I'm saying? You feel bad, but for somebody to be able to make something for you, a wig, and make you feel beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Make you feel like, okay, nothing's really changed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you can still go through your daily life. I think that is the most awesomest thing I ever heard. And I always knew that was a thing, but just when I'm hearing it from people that really want to do it, and it's like they got the talent to do it, it's like, man, you should, definitely make that happen. However, you can get it done. Definitely get it done, because I would love to see, a child rocking your wig, ponytail, and them, just feeling beautiful in their own skin,
Right.
and
Right.
you able to provide that feeling for them because it came from you, and just you put your all into it, because I know it's hard work doing these wigs. You put everything into it, and to make every single order the best, and so I really love it, and I love hearing it. So listen, it's been dope talking to you. I can't keep you too long, man. Listen, we've been talking for a little minute.
I know.
But it's been fun though. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully, I love to try to create good energy on the screen, so that way, it doesn't feel like it's an interview. It feels like more just like just a conversation, with a buddy. But I want to say thank you. I hope you had fun. Did you have
I
fun?
did. I did. I told you I was a little nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, when I get nervous, I talk too much. So I know I was long-winded, but I appreciate you for having me for
Yeah,
sure.
it's all good. It's all good. Well, listen, all I ask is that we need to get a recommendation. This is how we keep the podcast going, right? So the same way Shanice recommended you, if you can recommend me, 1 to 2 people that I can sit down with, talk to, that really fit the mode of the podcast, and if you can help me get them on the show, just meaning,
Of course.
hey, this guy, I just did a podcast with my guy Armand. He's gonna hit you up. You can say yes or no. It doesn't matter, but the moral of the podcast is just he's just trying to expand and give a lot of people exposure to different careers that you can be a part of, and be successful in. So give me 2 names before you leave, and then you out of here.
Okay. So I am going to recommend my friend Makoya.
Okay.
Do they have to be entrepreneurs?
They don't have to. That's the thing. Entrepreneurs is, I'm just, it's a lot of entrepreneurs, secret entrepreneurs, but I love talking, they don't have to be the entrepreneurs. If they got a 9 to 5, whatever they're doing, like, I love talking to them too.
I'm gonna have to say my friend Makoya. And the only reason why I say that is because she has a 9 to 5, but she also, she got 2 businesses really.
Wow.
On the side. She's a teacher, and she also has a tutoring business.
That'd be dope.
And she also bakes. So I'm gonna recommend her. And then I also want to recommend, I'll say my friend Kimberly.
Okay. Word.
Yeah, I was torn between her and my other friend because he's a police officer, but I'm gonna do her because she also.
Give me him. I want all 3 of them. I want the police
Okay,
officer too.
so I'll give you him too. He has his own business as well, but he's a police officer. He works for APD, and he's been doing it for a little minute now as well. So I think that'll be good for them to be able to just provide that balance of them having, a 9 to 5. I don't really know if Cam has a 9 to 5 because she actually owns like sweets and things like that. Wow. But it'll be good talking to them. I definitely think you'll enjoy talking to them and just being able to hear their perspective for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. So if you can send me however they like to be contacted, whether it's through Instagram, whether they, phone number, whatever the case may be, I'm gonna reach out to them today as soon as you send me the information, and then we'll try to get that set up and get some dates locked in. But I do appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your day. You got any plans?
Thank
we brunching?
you.
We brunching or what?
No, I got to catch up on some stuff. So I got to catch up on some stuff. I do. So yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you so
much. I'm not
much.
brunching today. I got to do my my Sunday reset. Grocery shopping, all that. I'm actually getting a late start because I normally try to be the first one in the grocery store.
Yeah.
But that's me. Listen, I told you I wake up at the crack of dawn. So, but I appreciate you. Love what you're doing with this podcast, and I just hope that it continues to grow and expand. Ooh, why didn't I think about this? My god sister, she's actually the dance coach at South Carolina State, and she owns her own dance studio. So I'll send you her information as well.
Yeah, send me all that.
But yeah, so yeah, I appreciate you so much. Love what you're doing, and I just wish you much success. And I hope your podcast is being an inspiration to, the target audience that you are hoping to reach. So thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you.
Have
Thank
a good
you.
day.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.